Grand Rising Soul Tribe, Tracy here, Sweet Spot e-magazine. I just jumped on this morning. We're going to go ahead and jump in, ring the bell, clear out the energy, and see what the message that Spirit has for us this morning. This is your first time. Welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. Let's ring the bell. Seems like there's still something from the past that we got to address. That's why it keeps coming back around. There's still something from the past that we have to address. Says there's a new sheriff in town, though. So maybe things are going to finally get cleared up. What's the message, Spirit? If I can get 3 from the big stack. Hey, Saida, Grand Rising, how are you? What's the message, Spirit? Somebody needs to be thankful because it looks like there's going to be a blessing that's coming. Like a big pot of gold. There's going to be a beautiful blessing that's coming. And love lives here. Maybe this is something from the past, or someone from the past. We'll see. Once again, there is a new sheriff in town. What's the message? We're going to get one more. One more. Ooh, something about you being majestic and standing in your power. We're going to put the rest of these back. Yeah, there's a new sheriff in town. It's a positive outlook. This person may be worth their weight in gold, and something about this person, they're majestic. They stand in their power. I feel like this is a truth teller. My nose is all of a sudden itching. Yeah, something about this person. Let's see. Bottom of the deck. Ooh, transition, 6 of Swords. Yeah, we're leaving a time from deception. We are smoothly sailing away from this deceptive time in the past that we had to deal with. And it's like, you are standing in your power, High Priestess. You are standing in your power. And this Wheel of Fortune is turning in your favor because you know what? You used your logic. You used your logic as far as what kept coming back around, like this pattern that wouldn't stop. This pattern that would not quit. And it was because of these people that were working together. In this witch energy. Somebody was working together in this witch energy, and it was enjoyment for them to try and knock you off balance. But, it's like you went within, you found yourself, you developed yourself, you found your higher calling, you found it's like you grew. You spiritually grew. And now you are standing in your power. Yes, you are standing in your power. It's like you may be standing alone, but that's how you're powerful. That's how you're powerful. And you know what? It's like things are going really good for you right now. Things are going better for you than they have in a while. Yes, because you took your courage back. You took your courage back. And not only that, you were standing in your power with this 10 of Pentacles. I'm telling you, it's like a pot of gold, a pile of gold. Hi, Nancy. And you be blessed as well, too. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Nancy, I was saying some prayers for you. Somebody else has been, it's been just like this couple, this King and Queen of Wands. And somebody else has been playing games in your energy for a long time. They've been trying to manipulate a situation for a long time, but you made a decision and you even left that. You left that because once again, You could see somebody was trying to do shit to play in your energy. It's like they did something this last time. And that's when you finally woke up. You finally got a clue. You finally decided that, you know what? You had to honor yourself. You had to honor God. You did it diplomatically, but you had to escape. You knew you had to escape and protect yourself. Someone, they did it too much. What's the message, Spirit? What's the message? What's the message? Thank you, Spirit. I don't know why I'm hearing birds of a feather. Yeah. See, these birds of a feather, they thought that they was going to be able to call judgment on you, but that didn't happen. It did not happen. There was something that they did not see. There was something they did not see. Judgment was called against them because of what they were gaining confirmation, because what they were ganging up on you to do. Yeah. And now there's a wonderful new opportunity that's coming in for you, and Spirit is carrying you away. Spirit is propelling you forward. Hi, Kahina. How are you this morning? Yeah. Somebody, they thought, oh, got him. But they didn't. They didn't. Somebody, they thought that they was going to have you trapped. But like I said, you were able to get out of this. This is the Eight of Swords in reverse. You was able to get out of this because of this new opportunity. You know, somebody wanted you to remain confused, like you didn't know what you were supposed to do, like because you were supposed to remain in this situation where it was painful to you, where you didn't have the confidence, you didn't know what was going on. But this group, they celebrated too soon. They thought you was weak. Now they don't. Now they don't think that you're weak, because everything that they stood for is crumbling. Like I said, there is a new sheriff in town, and that sheriff is putting the hammer down, stronger than what they would have ever thought or believed, especially coming from you. Especially coming from you. I feel like a lot of it had to do with the losses that you had in your life. You know, what you had to say goodbye to, not because you wanted to, but because they pushed you so far, you had no other choice. What's the message? Somebody celebrate. It's like they pushed you too far. They didn't know, and they thought that because you stood by yourself, that you was going to be weak. You was going to be defenseless. They didn't see all your ancestors standing behind you. What's the message, Spirit? Oh, here's some right here. Didn't even know. Yes, you worked hard on leaving. You knew that you had to leave. You worked hard on leaving. Not only that, but you knew the truth about these little games, these little spells, these little what somebody was trying to do. Like they say these words to try and mind fuck you. You know, you knew it was this emperor that was putting these swords in your back. You knew it. Once again, it was like something about maybe your mother or something like that, and a decision that was made against your mother. Yes, this is a decision that was made against your mother. But something about your it never sat right. It never sat right. You know, you may have been quiet for a moment, but it didn't sit right, because it was like It knocked off your happiness. You were no longer as happy as you were before. It's like and you was wondering why all of this even started, how all of this big old mess even began. Somebody should have thought about this before. They should have did their homework. They should have did their research to find out how all of this even started. It was deception. I see it. It didn't come out, but I saw the card. Hey, it's just Robbie. Good morning to you too. Yes. What's the message, Spirit? Hey, LJ. Good morning. Grand rising to you, beautiful. What's the message, Spirit? Yeah, you saw the truth. They couldn't hide the truth any longer. Something about, these people that collaborated, they couldn't hide it any longer. It's like you had to take a step back and look. Somebody had to take a step back and look at who they was dealing with. And they had to go within and think to themselves, you know what? Like, when we start looking at self, when we go within and we start looking at self, that's when we start having to take accountability, responsibility for our actions. Somebody realized that they had been doing something too long, and it was time for them to stop that fuck shit. That's why this person is looking sad by the actions that they took, creating a hardship for this partnership that you was in. Like I said, when somebody did this and they were sitting there standing on the sidelines, possibly afraid to even speak up, to say anything, after that, that's when they realized they was not as happy as they were before. The happiness was not there. The happy was not there. And it's like afterwards, that's when they started thinking that they should have stood up. They should have said something to protect you, to defend your honor, to speak up, to say, no, that's not right. That's when someone feels like they should have stood up to do something. And yes, and you know what? Somebody else sees this too. They're looking at this person, and they know that this person sees the truth about them and what they was even trying to do. And what they was trying to do was just to, like, there's somebody was in hot pursuit to put some type of burden on you. They was gathering up the troops. They was, doing this, doing that, gathering up the troops. Hey, let's do this. Let's do this. Let's put this on this person. Let's put this, like they're trying to put some additional stress on you. But somebody, it's like, you knew what was coming. You knew what was coming. These the Eight of Wands. And you was ready. You was ready. That's like that. You transmuted that negativity into positivity. And they got this message about it. They knew at that point not to mess with you, because at that point, the wheel of fortune started turning out of this person's favor. And they knew why. They knew why. And they was afraid of you at that point. At that point, somebody felt like they had to defend themselves against you, but they was afraid because they knew they did not have enough strength to come up against you when you went through what you had to go through. Hey, Miss Pretty Girl Swag. When you went through what you had to go through and you came out, when you went through that hermit stage and you came out, that's when you was that new sheriff in town. That's when they could see that, that pile of gold, that was your inheritance. They couldn't take that away. That's when you realized who you were, what you're here for, what your purpose is and what you got to do. That's when you were standing in your power. You was wearing that crown, baby. You wearing that crown. Straighten it up. You know, things may rock you, but they're not going to knock you down. They may make you take a step back and look like, what? But you're going to go get it. You're going to whatever problem it is, you're going to wrestle it down to the ground. They can't mess with you, and this is what they know. This is why so many had to come up against you. This is why so many had to lie on you, because they cannot mess with you. You are majestic. You are standing in your power. You are the new sheriff in motherfucking town. I wish they would. Let's all act like we are ancestors, direct ancestors of Mabel H. Johnson, the first Black woman to say, I wish a motherfucker would. Yes, you was able to close. You was able to close this cycle, this curse. Yes, you was able to close this curse. You saw what people were trying to do with the 7 of Swords and the 10 of Swords. But you wasn't worried about it. You saw it. You felt it. They was trying. They was trying. And I'm telling you, it's somebody that thought that they could get you. Somebody thought that, because this person is, like I said, this could have been your mother. The four of Wands and the Queen of Pentacles. And your mother was thinking that she had enough. Maybe she was remembering a time when she was strong enough to do this. When she could put you down and get you to stay down, but no longer, no more. She better sit her ass fuck down. Because you're not stopping. You're not stopping. You're not backing down. And like I said, everybody understands. They're wise now that you know what, this karma that's coming back, they're wise enough to understand that it's because this is something that they deserve. Yeah. That diabolical devil, done. You're not even worrying about this fool no more. You ain't even worrying about this little timid ass asshole no fucking more. You like, bring it on. Step in front of me. Step in front of me so I could physically whoop your ass. I'm telling you. Somebody thought that they was going to be able to cut you out of a partnership, a family. Somebody thought they was going to be able to remove your name from public record that you even existed. Hey, K-Hyphy. Yes, telling you, they wanted you to not to even look like you even existed in this family or in this partnership. They wanted to completely annihilate you. Someone had so much anger towards you, and it wasn't even towards you, it was towards themselves. They hate their lives so much that they didn't know how to look within to say that, you know what, this is not about you. It's about some hardships that they're going through. But they want to blame it on you. They want to act like this is your pain. This is not your pain. You ain't have nothing to do with this. You don't even know what the fuck is on this problem. It's this person's problem. You just happen to come along, and then this person is the asshole with the whole issue. You know what? And like I said, you see the truth. You know the truth. You know it ain't your motherfucking problem. This is why somebody understand. This is why this bullshit is coming back on somebody. This King of Wands. This is why shit is coming back on this King of Wands. And they know it. They know they should have left your ass alone. They should have left your partnerships alone. And it's because they wanted you to be out in the cold. They didn't like the fact that you was an earth angel. They didn't like the fact that you here on a mission. They didn't like the fact that God has favor on you. Well, too fucking bad, motherfucker. Get your life in order. Instead of sitting here now liking the fact that God has favor on you, trying to kick up dust in your life. Who the fuck does that? They didn't want you to be happy. but you didn't give a damn. You knew it was time for you to be happy anyway. You didn't give a damn. Telling you. Somebody, they just wanted to do you wrong. They wanted to cause some conflict. They wanted to hurt you. They wanted to give you some type of curse, generational curse, something that you felt like, oh man, I don't belong. Nobody likes me. Nobody wants me. Nobody sees me. But that wasn't how it